Welcome back to the F1 2010 to 2012 Backmarker Championship, where we see what a championship between Marussia, Caterham and Hispania Racing Team would look like. And for once I'm actually calling Marussia and Caterham by what they were actually Kent as in the seasons, because they were in 2012 Kent as Marussia and Caterham. For the point system, the highest finisher of these 6 drivers will score 25 points. It's the usual F1 point system for 1st through 6th, as long as you are a classified race finisher. Thanks again to Lego Snoop Dogg for the idea, and with that we head to 2012. Australia is our starting point, where Timo Glock brings his Marussia to the checkered flag in 14th place to start his season off with 25 points scored. And while his teammate Charles Pic is classified, so it's a Marussia 1-2, Glock is the only one to cross the finish line because nobody else does. The hell, the HRTs don't even qualify for the damn race. Again. So not to repeat myself, but De La Rosa and Garth McCann are off to a brilliant start. Well, from just one driver taking the checkered flag in Australia, we move to Malaysia, where we hate all 6 of them. Caterham's newest recruit, Vitaly Petrov, takes the win with 16th place, beating out last time race winner Timo Glock and his teammate, still at Caterham, Heikki Kovalainen. And the story isn't all that different in China. Petrov and Glock take the top 2 spots again, but is Pic in 3rd, opposed to Kovalainen, who is the lowest backmarker finisher today. In Bahrain, Petrov makes it 3 in a row with 16th and Caterham back on the 1-2 finishing thing because Kovalainen is 17th. Glock, meanwhile, makes it 4 podiums in a row to start the season after strong with 19th, a trend which he continues in Barcelona for round 5 because an 18th place gives him another podium. Joining him is rather unsurprisingly the 2 Caterhams, but Petrov's run comes to an end because Heikki Kovalainen gets his first win of the year in 16th, leaving Vitaly to take 2nd and 17th. He still leads the standings after the opening runs on 93 points though, and 4 podiums and 3 wins out of 5 races is a brilliant start to the year. Glock is right behind him on 91 though, so it's no comfortable lead. Kovalainen takes 3rd on 66 with 20 points to De La Rosa on 46 and 4th, while Pic is 1 point behind him on 45, and Narain Karthikeyan is lagging on 28. In the team's title battle, Caterham have 23 points over Marussia, 159 playing 136, while they've already left HRT for dust because they're only on a 74. Returning to the racing action, we move to the track which is either a More Fest or a DNF Fest. Monaco. This race sees the highest finish for a backmarker this season when Kovalainen makes it 2 in a row, crossing the line in 13th place. His teammate isn't so fortunate and sees his run of podiums come to a close when he retires for the race, unfortunately for him. Glock is continuing his run in 14th, and as the only other backmarker to finish the race, Karthikeyan gets HRT on the podium with 15th. To be honest, it's probably the best finish HRT will see all year. A brief pause in the European season sees F1 head over to Canada, which sees once again just 3 of these guys finishing, with Kovalainen for the 3rd race running finishing highest in 18th, leading home a Caterham 1-2 with Petrov 19th, which gives Heikki the championship lead. Pic is the other finisher in 20th, finishing a race for the first time since China, which was also 3rd place in 20th actually. And in Valencia, he makes it another 3rd place finish as Petrov strikes back against his teammate with a win in 13th, beating said teammate in 14th to immediately reclaim the championship lead. Next up is the British Grand Prix at Silverstone. Now, if you've watched the last 2 episodes of this mini-series, then you'll ken what the British Grand Prix is meant. However, I'm happy to report we're yet to hear British Grand Prix pass by with HRT's driver lineup remaining intact. Makes a bloody change now, doesn't it? But Kovalainen is back on the top step ahead of the 2 Marussias as Petrov's title bid takes a major blow as he did not even start the race, which means that as quick as he got the title lead back, he's lost it again, and it's not by a small amount as it was before. Kovalainen on 159 points and Petrov on 136, a 23 point gap. He's closer to Glock on 127 actually. Pic has 90 and 4th, and then is the HRT boys on 70 and 63 respectively. Meanwhile, in the teams, Caterham are doing Caterham things again and leaving everybody behind on 295 points against Marussia on 217, while HRT are on 133. As I drop in the classic, if you're enjoying the video you should like and subscribe if you've not already thing, we'll get back to the racing at the action at the German Grand Prix. The last time Petrov started a race, he won it, and that's exactly what he does again today to bounce back for that unfortunate DNS with the 16th place, beating Kovalainen, who takes 19th, and Pic continues his run of 3rd places in 20th, and at the last race before the summer break, he does the exact same thing again, so Mr. 3rd place backmarker over here continues finishing 3rd. It's once again the Caterhams ahead ahead of him, but this time it's Kovalainen taking the win with Petrov second. When the action returns in Belgium, where Maldonado makes quite possibly the worst jump start I've ever seen, and Grosjean does his best impression of a start in an F1 game open lobby, Petrov survives the carnage to take home a 14th place win ahead of the two Marussias. With Kovalainen 4th and 17th, it allows Petrov to close up to 10 points behind, and in Monza he'll be hoping to close the gap further or hell even take the lead back. But that doesn't exactly happen because Kovalainen extends his lead by 7 points as he wins it in 14th, meaning Petrov is to settle for 15th, and by now I'm sure you can guess who's in 3rd. All this to say that as F1 leaves the continent of Europe for the flyaways, Kovalainen has a 17-point lead over his teammate. Not a huge lead by any stretch of the imagination, but it's not tiny either. Glock sits 3rd on 179 points, 29 ahead of teammate Peak on 150, as the HRTs still bring up the rear with De La Rosa on 112 and Carter Kane still in the double digits on 79. On the team side of things, here's how it looks. Caterham have a 461 points and are looking set for the team title again unless something dramatic happens, because Marussia are on 329 and HRT are lagging on 191. The streets of Singapore come calling to F1 East, and up till now Caterham have won every race bar one, and the highest finisher this season for these guys has been 13th. But that changes tonight, because Timo Glock, who won round 1, is winning round 14 in 12th place for the highest backmarker finish of the year and matching the highest backmarker finish of the series. With 15th place, Kovalainen is extending his lead over Petrov, who takes 5th and 19th, as the Marussia's resident Frenchman is scoring his 8th consecutive 3rd place. Japan is Nice, where Kovalainen is further extending his title lead with 15th, beating Glock to the win. Well, for the first time since Monaco, it isn't Charles Pic finishing 3rd, it's Vitaly Petrov instead, to give us a 10-point swing in Heikki's favour. But with the 1-3 for Caterham, that has them now on 539 points to Marussia's 387, which is a gap of 152 points. Which means as we head to South Korea, after which there is 172 left available for a team to score, Caterham could wrap up the team's title already if they outscore Marussia by 21 points or more. It's by no means an easy task to seal it today, but it's possible, and a 1-2 in 16th and 17th with Petrov leading him home will make it more possible. If it wasn't for the Marussias finishing 3rd and 4th, leaving the team's title gap at 168, i.e. not enough. In India, the title will be mere possible to achieve though. The gap, as I say, at 168 and 129 left available after this race. All Caterham have to do is outscore them or be outscored by 38 points or less. Basically, Marussia need a 1-2 and a Caterham double DNF. And honestly, Ganaf Caterham's history in this series, I think we're more likely to see an HRT 1-2. And while there is a 1-2 for the backmarkers in India, it's Caterham for the 9th time this year and 24th time in the series ahead of, again, the two Marussias. This leaves the gap in the team's title on 184, which doesn't take a lot of maths to figure out. It means the fight is over and Caterham go undefeated in the team's title in the Backmarker Championship mini-series. Can Heikki Kovalainen also go undefeated though? Or will Vitaly Petrov be able to upset the run? Well, the gap is currently 21 points in the Finns' favour with 3 races to go. So as we head to Abu Dhabi, Petrov will be able to shorten that gap down. Unfortunately for the Russian though, the gap heads in the other direction and it extends it to 31 points as Kovalainen wins it in 13th, while Petrov has to settle for 3rd and 16th, with Glock in between them. So head into the sport's first ever trip to its new home for the United States Grand Prix at the Circuit of the Americas, Kovalainen can make it a US Grand Prix to remember by winning his 3rd straight backmarker title. With a 31-point lead, all he needs to do is outscore his teammate or be outscored by 5 points or less. A feat that is entirely possible. But it's also possible for Petrov to outscore him by enough to give us a last race decider, which is exactly what happens because Petrov takes his 9th win of the year in 17th, out of Kovalainen in 18th and Glock 19th. So we have a last race decider for the backmarker driver's title. Barely. The gap is 24 points with 361 playing 337. So unless Vitaly wins in Heikki DNFs, this is gonna go in the favour of the Finn. And that's the only fight going on because everything else is settled. Glock 3rd, Peak 4th, they were also 5th and Carter Kane 6th. And there ain't jack shit going on in the team's title either because that is all settled already. So let's head to the finale and see if a miracle can happen for Petrov. It's already happened down at HRT because if you've been paying attention then you'll note I haven't spoken about any driver changes at the Spanish team this episode. They actually went an entire season with the exact same lineup for every single race. Wonders will never cease. Back with the teams that aren't completely hopeless though, Petrov does exactly what he needs to do to try and make a miracle happen for him, and that's surviving the carnage of a typically wild Brazilian Grand Prix and take the backmarker win with the highest backmarker finish of the year and of the series in 11th. That could very well win him the title. He's done everything he can do, but it doesn't win him the title because Heikki Kovalainen takes 14th, which would peak between the two Caterham boys. That makes 14th third and means Heikki Kovalainen goes undefeated in this series. 3 straight backmarker titles for him. 376 points is what he aims on to sweep the series. Vitaly Petrov aims just 14 points off him on 362. He is going to be cursing those 2 DNFs in the DNS. If it wasn't for them, we may be speaking about a Petrov backmarker championship win. But alas, it's second for him. Timo Glock is the only other backmarker to win in this season, and he finishes third on 294, ahead of his teammate who finished third in half the races this year, but it's fourth in the standings for Charles Pic on 222. That leaves the HRT boys in 5th and 6th, with De La Rosa 5th on 168, and Noreen Karthikeyan 6th on just 115. Then for the team's title, Caterham stormed to the title on 748 points total. They've also gone undefeated in this series, leaving Marussia for dust this year eventually, as they finish on 516, and HRT meanwhile were freaking hopeless all year and bow out of F1 after scoring 283 points this season. And with that, I'll end this one here, and maybe get back to insert season here. I had fun with this mini-series, I did, that was fun. No one could stop Caterham. No one could stop Heikki Kovalainen. Both went 3 out of 3 in this mini-series. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Drop a like if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you're new around here. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.